Good morning, everyone. Hello. And happy Saturday. Happy Saturday after Christmas. I hope everybody's Christmas was flippin' awesome. It's time for some map making. This wonderful actually today's gonna be a nice day, at least where I'm at. It's supposed to be like in the 70s today, which is strange to me. Strange. You know, you want a white Christmas every year, and you get a Christmas that is in the 60s and 70s, and you wonder, you know, is it right for me to complain about not having a white Christmas this year? Because I feel like I should be grateful that we get some nice weather, but yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. But anyway, how's everybody doing? I'm doing good, and I'm getting over a little bit of a headache. In the dark, no, it's man, I really must need to change my lighting setup here, because here's the thing. Here's the technicalities of it. So I bought this light to better illuminate myself, right? And when I use it, it washes me out. Like, I'm just completely, like, you can't make out any features on my face or anything like that, right? So I turn the exposure on my camera down, but in doing so, it darkens the rest of the room. So that's the technicalities of it. But anywho, let's see. So I think, you know, I would hope that we might be able to get this done today. But we'll see about that. I don't know. I don't quite know. But again, I hope everybody's Christmas was phenomenal. I hope you got to spend time with your family or your friends. And I hope Santa Claus brought you everything that you wanted. But I also hope that you remember the actual reason that we celebrate Christmas. And I'll be honest, like, I'm one of those types that you know, because okay. So story time, a little bit of story time. I was in Walmart the other day, just picking up some last minute wrapping paper, and I was looking at all the different wrapping papers and such, and you know, one of them was, one of the brands that was there was something called, the brand was called Holiday Time. And I was like, I'm not buying wrapping paper from a brand that's called Holiday Time. That's not what it is. It's not It's not wrapping paper for a holiday. Is there another celebration that gives gifts like that? I mean, maybe there is, but I mean, come on. So I was like, I'm not going to support that. I'll be one of those Karens that does that. Oh, there's a war on Christmas. You know, whether there is or there isn't. I was just like, no, that's dumb. That's dumb. So I didn't buy that, and I just bought gift bags instead, which ended up being the more expensive option. But you know, who's counting? Let's see. I don't like the fact that all of the beds are the same. Here we go. Let's do this. Replace asset with this one. Just give it a oh, no, that's not right. That's not the right one. I feel like they need more beds, to be honest with you. Like, they've only got 90 different beds, and I don't feel like any of them ones that they have are the right ones. course, I've got all of the different. Here, let's try this one. Narrow it down a little bit. Make sure it fits the style. There we go. We're just gonna go little by little and change it up just a tad. Just a tad. Shamrock beds, huh? You know what's crazy is that the older you get, the faster time goes. And I hate that. I hate that. Hello, Nomi. How are you? There we go. Gives it a little bit of variety here. Break it up so it's not the exact same bed. Oh, man. I think this is going to end up being like less of an observatory and more of something else. I don't know. Tired and currently dying. You're currently dying. What, are you sick? I'm sorry to hear that, Noe. If it makes you feel any better, I've got a tiny little headache. Wait, Freddy, you're eating tamales? I'm only slightly jealous. Good, Nomi. I'm glad. What to do with the rest of this? You know, the thing is, these maps are all so big, and the fight usually ends up taking place in a little small space like this. Hello, 40 Viking. What's going on, man? Let's see. I tell you what. Why don't we do this? It's not really going to fit. It's not really going to fit the mood of the map, but maybe, just maybe, I'll throw on some music that will be in the new show. Huh? Let's see. Doot. There we go. It's got sound effects too, but it's okay. Tell me if you guys, if this reminds any of you guys of a certain movie. Bonus points if you guess the one that I'm thinking. Nothing in a laboratory? Really? You're on the third day of eating tamales. Yeah, because you normally, when you make tamales, you make them in just a giant batch, don't you? Ooh. Is there a hitching post? Here. You know what? This is actually pretty good. I'm gonna use these. This will be a good hitching post. Good old hitching posts. Ooh. Here's what I want to do actually. Move these out just a tad. And then oh. They big. Move them out like, oh, you know what I'll do? I'll just move them right here. Right on that line. And then I want to make sure that we get a couple of watering troughs. There we go. Actually, come to think about it, this track kind of reminds me of a certain video game too at certain points. Which, for those of you who know me, might know that it might be one of my favorite video games of all time. You know what? Actually, I think what I want to do is, yeah, we're going to do this. We're just going to do like this gravelly type texture there. And then we're going to bring the opacity down. We're just going to bring this gravel inside just a tad. Because people don't wipe their boots. Siege cart, huh? What is a siege cart? That's a cart. Need a full-size wagon. I'm sure there's probably a stable somewhere around here, but no telling. No telling. I'm thinking the shoreline's pretty cold, so maybe pine trees. A few pines here and there. Oh, you know what we need? Now that I'm already in the middle of this, let's see. Let's do let's see. We're gonna make some windows. Portal. Make a portal. Oh, actually, you know what? I might not need to do that. Did I already put windows in here? I did not. I know, because I was thinking about, I wasn't sure what windows to use. Oh, what was that one? I don't know. I thought these would be sufficient, yeah? It's a fine balance. Getting the right position for them. Because I don't want them to stick outside of the boundaries of the wall, but I don't want the wall to be showing behind them. And that makes it look like it's sitting on top of the wall. I'll tell you what, that's probably all right, I think. My Christmas was good, Freddie. Thanks for asking. So basically, all I did really, I just went down to my parents' house, and my brother and sister-in-law were making. Oh, you're losing your touch there. Fantastic. My brother and sister-in-law couldn't make it because they were going to her side of the family. So our family Christmas was supposed to be today. Well, unfortunately, some family members are sick today. So that is going to be moved until tomorrow. So we'll be doing our family Christmas tomorrow. But on Christmas, I went down to my parents' house, and it gave us an excuse to put off wrapping presents until then. So we wrapped a couple of presents, and I've actually still got a couple I need to wrap here personally. Because I procrastinate and I hate wrapping. I'm terrible at it. But we just had dinner and, sat around, talked. Their neighbor came over for a little while. So, overall, it was very peaceful. Very nice. It's a good time. How was everybody else's Christmas, though? That's what I want to know. Did anybody get the thing that they put on their list, on their Christmas list? Was Santa good to them? Actually, the best part of my Christmas came last night. Ooh, noise canceling Beats. I bet those are awesome headphones. The best part of my Christmas so far was I went over to some friend's house, and they've got 2 kids, a boy and a girl, and I gave them a couple of toys, just little things. Like I got the little girl a little puppy, it's just like a little stuffed puppy, and it had a tutu on it. It was in like a little Disney princess purse, and she absolutely loved it. And the little boy, he's like 1.5, but there are these little like cartoonish cars or whatever. I don't know. I got those for him, and he just lit up when he saw them. Like that's the thing. Like, obviously their parents got them better stuff, but they get like that's the thing I love about kids is that when they're that age is that whenever you give them something, they just light up. And you guys know, like they'll play with it for a couple of minutes, and then they'll be done with it. But it's worth it to see the look on their face when they open it. You never get what you want. What do you want? Revolution? Say, I don't know. I told my parents not to get me anything because, I don't really need anything. And let's see, Friday. I'm sure they probably got me something else. They always do this thing where they'll give me just this giant box full of like paper towels, toilet paper, dish soap, usually some like wiper fluid or something like that, just basic stuff. Um, and so I would put money on the fact that they got me that, and also like there's like stockings that have like Slim Jims and chapstick and all that stuff. But they did get me a stainless steel skillet, which I did want, so that was awesome. And they got me a little bit of ammunition for some weapons that I unfortunately lost in a tragic boating accident. So Resurrection? No, that's a couple months from now. Sarcastic. That's a couple months from now. Have windows all over this bish. Exactly. You can never have too much. You can never have too much. For sure. They say for every weapon you have, you should have 1,000 rounds of ammo. Is that excessive? I don't know if that's excessive or not. I don't. Probably not. But you know, I personally wouldn't mind having 1,000 rounds because it makes sure that you have enough to practice with. And your boy needs practice, but ammo is it's tough. It's tough because it's still prices have gone down as of late, but it is still expensive. Is that enough windows? Oh, good lord. You clean your toilet with a pumice stone, huh? How bad was it that you needed to clean it with a pumice stone? Oh. I will say I'm not the cleanest person, but for some reason, I do keep a clean toilet. I don't know why. Like for whatever reason, it bums me out to see the ring in there, and so I will clean it as soon as I see the ring in the toilet. And anytime I use the toilet, I wipe the rim, I do whatever. Like I got a clean toilet. Um, it's just everything else in my surroundings that is not quite so clean, which seems backwards, right? But you know what? If you're gonna have something clean, I don't know where I was going with that. Anywho, let's do a little bitty window here. A little bitty window. Okay, I'm thinking maybe it's like an outpost for scientists, maybe, or something. I don't know, some sort of a science-based thing. Alchemists, maybe. I was thinking like an observatory, but I don't know. Most of the damage was caused by my poop, so how does that not surprise me? Yeah, because the prompt that we used was an observatory, which that's an hourglass. That's a clock. Which that's a cool looking clock, by the way. Hmm. Hold on. Responding to DMs. All you need in the morning is a good mug of coffee and some tamales. That's all you need. Let's see. So we're gonna have ourselves a nice little cabinet with potions and things of that nature. And it's so strange. Because where one might consider the back of it, it goes right over the top of that wall. So I don't know. It just seems odd. Freddie, do you take your coffee black or do you spice it up a little bit? Fantastic. You are correct. Yeah. I am terrible about keeping up with people. I am terrible about checking in on people. I am generally a bad friend for the most part. So, yeah. I'm terrible at responding to people for the most part. Unless I've got business. I'm just bad. I'm bad at it. Let me think about a clock. See, this is a giant clock. Maybe this is in the center of the floor or something? No, that's a little bit too much, I think. Black coffee this time. Often I mix it with milk, but not usually. I usually put mine with almond milk. But honestly, you know what? I'm thinking about it. I don't really drink a whole lot of milk, like regular milk, because it is kind of high calorie. In its calories, which I will inevitably get elsewhere. So I usually use almond milk, but I put creatine in the first coffee that I have in the morning, and I find that the creatine does not bind very well because I think it's probably because it's low fat. I might be making that up, but that's a hypothesis that I have. And so if I start mixing it with like a higher fat something, that contains has a higher fat content, maybe it'll bind and blend a little bit better. But as it is, like, in order to get all of the creatine, I usually have to have like probably 2 cups of coffee, because it inevitably like sinks down, it settles down at the bottom. Ground fresh every time? Oh man, that's bougie. You go bougie. Creatine and coffee. Well, how can that be offensive? It's like it's tasteless. It's tasteless, odorless. Here, let's do astro something. See if they have anything having to do with astrology or astronomy. Oh yeah, well I'm sure I would prefer regular milk too. I would prefer, honestly, I'd prefer full cream. But you gotta restrict yourself in certain ways, or at least I do. You don't have to if you don't want to. Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, you bring up a point, Huck. Yeah, I am tasteless. I eat breakfast tacos like 3 days out of the week. And I usually wear the same 3 shirts on stream. So I own more shirts, but I just usually wear the same 3. I really want to try to stick to this observatory theme, but I need something that can be a telescope. And I feel like an observatory probably needs a telescope. That's kind of the whole point. Am I a chocolate drinker? Like a chocolate milk drinker? Not usually, but like that doesn't mean I don't like it. I freaking love chocolate milk. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. But it's one of those things that I don't treat myself to very often. It's like gummy bears. I don't treat myself to gummy bears very often at all. It's probably been a year since I've had gummy bears, but I love gummy bears. I love them. That being said, I did have a weak moment last night and went and got some Welch's fruit snacks from the gas station. So, I mean, and they're not quite gummy bears, but they're close. Oh, we got one on the Twitch side. I apologize. I'm going to butcher this name. Padunyota. Padunyota? Hello. Good morning. How are you, my friend? Let's see. What do we got? No, just chocolate without milk? What does that mean? Remember eating 5-pound bags of gummy bears? Yeah. Those were fond memories. We used to eat those until we got sick. There was that time that we watched A Clockwork Orange and ate gummy bears. It's so weird. I do remember that fondly, though. I'm good, man. Good, good, good. Just making some maps. You know how it be. What up, Cajun Corey? How's it going, brother? My brother. Test tubes. See, I don't know. I guess this is going to have to be an observatory of some other kind, or it's not going to be an observatory at all. It will probably end up being something else. I think maybe it's just going to end up being like a wizard's laboratory where he handles volatile experiments with his henchmen. Fun fact, I used to make gummy candy. Fruit snacks are basically the same as gummy bears. Yeah, I mean, it's the same texture and stuff like that. Maybe fruit snacks have a little bit more fruit juice in it, but I don't know. I don't know about that. Probably depends on what you get. Never watched A Clockwork Orange. It's, for some people, I can see where it would be a tough watch. I think it's genuinely a good movie. Oh God, who is the director of that? No, I gotta Google it. It's I mean, the director of it is a guy who's known for doing like, you know, just weird films. And I imagine the book is probably Stanley Kubrick. That's who it was. Stanley Kubrick. Good movie, but it's just surreal. It's very surrealist. Is that the word I'm looking for? It's very surreal. I don't know, but it's good. Worth a watch if you can like buy into the whole aspect of just weird. It's just really weird. I don't know how else to explain it. Interesting. Okay. See, yeah, exactly. They know how to take their milk in the Clockwork Orange. They know that. You know what? Fantastic. I'm not gonna get into this again. The Return of the King has one ending. It has one ending. But I know you just do this to get under my skin. And it works. Yeah, you know, I think we're gonna end up going. We're just gonna have to go to like Wizard's Lab or something like that. So, I like the idea of. See, we can have a couple of desks in here, right? And then this one, I will fill with whatever I want. We can have 2 desks. You're making a magic item, the main one of the campaign, but cannot seem to find a name. Well, here's the question. What does it do? Probably a good place to start is a couple of, you can name it after a couple of aspects, right? So like, first of all, who made it, if anybody, and what does it do? Who is your daddy and what does he do? You know. It gives you the position of a goddess. Okay. Okay. Well, one thing that I would potentially think about, it gives you the position of a goddess. So this is just me. I don't know what world you're doing, what world you're creating. But normally something like that, I would consider. Oh, it was made by herself to give to her friend slash love interest. So the gods are otherworldly. So I think the name should also be otherworldly, and this is just my opinion. Meaning that I don't think that the name should be in English. Normally, for something like that, I might go to something like, depending on what the style of the pantheon is like, I might go to something with like maybe a Latin-based name, or maybe Celtic or Norse. Greek is good, yeah. And then it could be something like, here, let's do this. Let's do this. You've got me. You've got me interested now. So let's do English to Greek translation. Let's see. So locate. Oh, I can't. Wait, hold on. I can't read that. I need phonetics. Phonetic Greek. Good God. Let's see. Here, actually, let's see if we can. Greek phonetic phrases. Fantastic. I'm just not going to engage. Because I can tell that you are just being obtuse. What is this? Let's go to this. Enter Greek text here. Oh, okay. Here we go. Here we go. All right. So and then we're going to open this link in a new tab. We're going to copy that and paste that. Into pistatin ayapi. Oh. Endopistatin ayapi. Okay, so you could do something like that, like combine those words. Like what I would do is I don't know. I would have to think on it for a little bit, but normally what I would do is like I would take that and combine them in some way. Just be like, for simplicity's sake, intapayapi or something like that. But a lot of those things might have multiple word names. But that's normally what I would do. That's what I would do. It's like for my One Ring campaign, it would always be, I would have Elvish names if I could find names in the Numenorian language. Which the name of the language escapes me. It's like Adunaic, I think. No, that's not right. Numenorian language. It is Adunaic. Okay, yeah, the tongue of the Numenorians. But yeah, locate seems to be into pistis, so maybe something like that. Yeah. Hey, no problem, buddy. I like world building and stuff like that, so I'm a big fan. Strangely enough, what's fun is for the new game, the players went to a place that I didn't actually intend them, which I should have anticipated them going to, because players do the things that you never anticipate. And so basically, I had to build a shopping mall that would be believable in 1997, and that was a lot of fun. Wow. All the sweetener sunk to the bottom. Wonderful. No one is ever willing to talk about the flaws of movies. Oh, yeah, I'd be willing to talk about the flaws of movies. I think that the only difference is that I think that what you're talking about as a flaw is not a flaw. Because it gives it, like, it's not one of those movies that you could be like, that you could leave up to the ending should be left up to interpretation. Like, there's so much character growth over the 11 hours that you've spent watching the movies that they deserve a proper send-off. And most of the characters do. Aragorn gets a good send-off, becomes king of Gondor, Frodo gets a good send-off, Sam gets a good send-off. You know what happens to each of them. It's like an epilogue to anything. Like, how can you be like, oh, well, like what you said the other day, the movie could have ended with Aragorn bowing to them and saying, "You bow to no one." Like, okay, but what happens to the Shire? What happens to Frodo? Like, does he just go home? Like, is he not affected? Does he just go home and live happily ever after? Or is he actually affected by what happened to him? What about Bilbo? What about Gandalf? What happens to Gandalf? Like, you don't get any of those questions answered if you just leave it at that, because it's such a massive piece of work that all the main characters deserve a good ending. But I'm more than willing to talk about how, like, those movies are, like, deserving of the awards that they got. I believe they are far from perfect. Like, there's several, like, who was it that said the other day? The car, and was it Warlock? I think it was Warlock who said that things that you can't unsee, the car and Lord of the Rings. Yeah. Or there's a section in the Fellowship where when Aragorn's running down the hill towards Boromir as he's dying, there's an orc that kind of like looks up and watches him run past. Little things like that. I think it's also a major flaw of the movie that the importance of the swords that the hobbits get in the Fellowship is never addressed. That's a problem that I have with it, because it takes away from Merry's involvement in killing the Witch King. Yeah, and what happens to Tom Bombadil? Yeah, that I can understand. I can understand leaving Tom Bombadil out. Like I would love to have seen Tom Bombadil, and I would love to have seen the whole sequence with the Old Man Willow and the Barrow Wights and the Barrow Downs and all that stuff. I think that would have been a sick sequence. That would have been awesome to have, and I think it really would have added a lot more gravity to the story, and to give a little bit more depth to Middle Earth, as to, it's like, oh, there is a lot that goes on here. But I can understand why that sequence might have been left out, because it doesn't really, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really advance the plot that much. What it does do is it establishes the importance of the swords that, like I was saying before, it establishes the importance of the blades that the hobbits get, the barrow blades and stuff. But you don't get the implication. It's like, we know the lore of it being that, oh, the Witch King basically roused these spirits in the Barrow Downs, a long time ago, but that's not knowledge that you get at that time in the book. And so you don't really understand the connection between the Barrow Wights and the Witch King and Sauron and stuff like that. And Tom Bombadil is also, I think he would be very difficult to adapt to the screen. Like, I couldn't do it. Like, no way would I attempt to do it. What about the fifth Hobbit, Fatty? Well, yeah. I heard he's just working construction now. The movies do have some pacing issues. I don't know if I agree with that. Maybe very minor, but I don't know. I don't think that there's really anything. I don't think that there's really anything in the movies that seems unnecessary. And in fact, I think they did quite a bit to improve the pace from the books, to be honest with you. Because, like I said, they oh, I know you didn't. They also did, like, I think they did a lot to improve the pacing from the books, like moving Boromir's death from the Two Towers book to the Fellowship, even though it was all supposed to be in the same book. Like, I get that. But moving it from the Two Towers, the beginning of the Two Towers, to the end of the Fellowship, I think helps with the pacing of the trilogy as a whole. I'm not a huge fan of the fact that they took out the Scouring of the Shire, but if they left the Scouring of the Shire in, I mean, that is like moving Shelob's lair from the Two Towers to the Return of the King basically takes out the need for the Scouring of the Shire, if you understand what I'm saying. Like, the Scouring of the Shire it's like the reasoning that Peter Jackson and Fran Walsh and Philippa Boyens gave is like, well, you could put the Scouring of the Shire in, and while that is an important aspect to the story, it's anticlimactic in a cinematic adaptation. So it's like, well, you in book form, you understand, like, you know, it's a send off that didn't happen uh, in the books for Saruman. And so he's still got all these orcs, but he's still lustful for power, right? But he goes after the hobbits, and it goes to show that, like, well, there's still after effects. You know, just because the war is over doesn't necessarily mean that there aren't reverberating effects. What was I talking about? Or what was I doing? Let's see. Here, we're gonna put that there. I'm gonna get rid of this big table. Let's see. Book. Let's go bookshelf. It's terrible. That's one thing about these line tools. They don't corner very well. I wonder if maybe if I take this and put it here, and then I transform it just a tad. Let's see, where's the does that make it look strange? It doesn't make it look quite deep enough, but I think it's all right. Hey, Poops. It's Cholula. Hi, baby. What are you doing? What are you doing? What do you think? You want to say hi? You want to say hi? Hi, baby. What are you doing? Oh, you're dirty. You got dirty feet. All right. I'll tell you what. I'm going to run. I'm going to grab some more coffee. And I will be right back. Oh, doggone it! I was muted. How come you guys didn't tell me that my that my music was muted? I unmuted the wrong thing at the beginning of the stream to let you guys hear the music. Hopefully, you guys can hear it now. But yeah, I ponder if Loader would have been better as a TV series with 2 seasons per book and 20 episode seasons. I think you might be able to get away with 6 to 8 episodes, because a lot of the material in the books is it's world building, and Tolkien was very verbose, and well, yeah, I mean, anybody would admit that Tolkien was verbose with a lot of his like descriptions and his world building and all that good stuff. But yeah, but that kind of longevity with a cast would be near impossible. Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're doing 2 seasons per book, that's 6 seasons. Game of Thrones went 8 seasons. Breaking Bad went 5. I don't think that would have been too terribly bad, especially if they had continued doing if they had stuck with the original method in which they filmed the films, in that you film basically everything simultaneously. And I'm sure a lot of TV shows do this, but like, you have multiple film crews. You've got A crew, B crew, C crew, D crew, E crew, whatever. And everybody's constantly filming something. So the Hobbits have got a scene going. Gandalf and Aragorn and Legolas and Gimli have got a scene going. Perhaps there's a scene going with Denethor and all that stuff. You could be filming stuff for season 6 while you're filming stuff with season 5, because there's like, there's scenes that take place between Faramir and Boromir and Denethor, and scenes with Sauron, and scenes with even if it's like the Scouring of the Shire, scenes with Saruman and Grima, and nondescript hobbits as well. But yes, I would agree, to go back to your original point, that it probably would have been better as a higher budget TV show if Amazon had the rights to it, which now Netflix, I guess, has the rights to it. To my understanding, that deal's not finalized yet. But Warner Brothers, and by proxy, Netflix, once that deal is finalized, will have the rights to it, the film rights to The Lord of the Rings, which scares the living hell out of me. You like to think that people see that these companies see what the public opinion is, but I genuinely, at this point, I don't think they care what public opinion is, man. I love that you named your dog Daphne too. It's so great. It's also funny how some Lord of the Rings suffers from omissions of book material, while The Hobbit suffers from addition to the source material. Yeah, no, for anybody in this chat who may think that perhaps I am a Peter Jackson apologist, no. I vehemently despise the Hobbit movies. It's just, the first one's all right. I'll give the first one its proper, accolades. There are certain things in the first one that they did well, and there are certain things in all 3 of them that they did well. Like, they brought Howard Shore back, first of all, so the soundtrack is phenomenal. I think Martin Freeman as Bilbo was great casting. But the problem is, and it's the same thing we've been talking about. We've been talking about this for years. You know, you get studio execs in on it. You get studio execs in on story aspects. On, you know, oh, it's got to have this, and it's got to have this, it's got to have this. And that's when the film goes to shit. Like the even Evangeline Lilly, when they were talking about Tauriel, like they wanted to have a female elf in there because they wanted to have more female presence in the movie. Well, so they wrote Tauriel, and so they brought Evangeline Lilly in to play Tauriel, and even she was like, you know, she didn't want a love story in it, and the studio heads were like, well, you need one, and so there you go. She got put in a love story. And they added all that extra stuff with Lake Town and like the whole Grima worm, the Timu Grima worm tongue, and the extra stuff with like Bard. Like you don't need any of that. It's not The Hobbit anymore. It's something else. Like they should have just called it The Quest for the Lonely Mountain or something. I think Jackson is a much better documentation filmmaker. Yeah, what is that World War I thing he did? Was it They Shall Never Die or something like that? It was pretty good. I enjoyed that quite a bit. I haven't seen the one he did about the Beatles. Imagine Harry Potter as a TV show. Which studio would do it, and what cast would it be? I'm not the right person to ask about that, man. Like, I'm not the biggest Harry Potter fan, and it's not because I think that Harry Potter is bad or undeserving of the love that it gets. I think it is very deserving of the love that it gets. But I was past, by the time all that stuff, I never read the books when I was a kid, and my parents, you know, they didn't want me to watch the movies, and so I didn't get into it at a young age. If I had, I probably would be into it a lot more, but I'm not. You know, it's just but I can respect the world that I want to say J.K. Simmons. That's not her name, nor is it R.L. Stein. I'm blanking, and I'm gonna get lambasted in the chat because I can't remember her freaking name. The author. I can respect the world that the author built very much, and yeah, I like it. I like it for what it is, but I'm just not the person to ask about that kind of thing. Been let down so many times by bad adaptations. You prefer reading the books. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the trend, you know. Books are a difficult medium to translate into film, I think, depending on the genre, you know. Some books are written in a very thematic way to where it would make it a little bit easier to adapt it into script, but not many. And you got to have a very talented film writer, very talented writer, in order to be able to write a movie adapted from a book very well. Same, never cared as a kid and as an adult, didn't hit for me. Yeah, exactly. Harry Potter fan, but all pottered out. There's no reason to get a new series, just a money grab. Yeah, I agree. Well, that's how I felt with. That's not how I initially felt with The Lord of the Rings on Amazon. I initially was excited because they were talking about doing the Second Age, And I was like, okay, now I'm interested. And then the more you learn, the more you're like, okay, this is dog shit. And that's how I feel about even though they've got Andy Serkis directing the next one and Peter Jackson producing, I'm like, I don't want it. I don't want it. Keep it. We don't need it. Just you gave us plenty with the original trilogy, and then you gave us, you know, a little bit of dessert with The Hobbit, and I you know what? That's plenty. I've got all I need. Also, Rings of Power was a mistake. Never happened. I prefer to think of it that way, yes. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out what's the best way to... Yeah, man, don't waste your time on it. I'm telling you. It's like the only people who like it are bot accounts on X. Dang it, man. You'd almost have to build a wall around this desk in order to get it to fit right. Not into Lord of the Rings, but Rings of Power doesn't exist. Exactly, Cajun Corey. Exactly. I have heard that about the Dune movies. The Dune movies are a decent adaptation. I have only seen the first one. I've been meaning to watch the second one. I know they've got the third one in the works. Is that right? I did see a scene from the second one, and it was Timothée Chalamet's character. I can't remember his name, but he was like addressing all of the oh god, I can't think of the people. The people in the robes and stuff like that. I need to watch the first one again. But yeah, he was addressing all of them, and it was an awesome speech. Like, the acting was phenomenal. ABF hosted Rings of Power's watch party in the GCA Discord last year. Needless to say, I got some good sleep during it. Yeah. If you guys don't know, the on Thursdays I'm on Avenue Studios and the Fremen. Yes. But on the Thursday on Avenue Studios, I am on Nova Beast, their campaign, and they've got a thing going where, and forgive me, I'm not exactly sure how it works, but donations translate into votes, and what you're voting on, and this is a campaign-long thing, you're voting on yes or no. Does Dan have to watch the Rings of Prime? Is what he calls it, Rings of Prime. And so far the vote is yes, he has to watch Rings of Prime. No, the Bene Gesserit, that's the Bene Gesserit, that's the more. Yes, Dan has to watch. Exactly. Yes, thank you. Hey, Dave. I didn't see you in the chat there. Okay, yeah, the Bene Gesserit are female Jedi Knights with lightsabers. Wait. So you vote whenever you donate to the stream. I don't know. I'll have to get some clarification from Dan on that. I can't remember exactly how it works, but donations to the stream allow you to cast votes. Tables. Oh wait, here we go. Let's see. No, that doesn't quite fit. Just woke up. Botrix just subscribed with tier 1. Thank you, AI chatbot, for that. I appreciate that. By the way, Chrysanth resubscribed while we were off stream. Thank you, Chrysanth, for that. I appreciate the gifty, Dave. That's so funny. Oh my god. I appreciate the gifted, Dave. But not my stream. You don't donate to my stream for a vote. Yes, you donate to the Nova Beast stream on Thursdays. That's so funny. Oh my goodness, that's funny. Donating to the AI chatbot so it can be a member of the stream. Oh man. Missed a joke for Chrysanth last night, but if I watched Tabitha the other day, I heard it. What joke was that? On YouTube, I gifted myself a membership. Mongoose is king of that. Yeah. Clanker's getting all our gifts. Yep. That table is too wide. Well, I guess I could transform it. Stretch it out a tad. Then widen it. And this is probably where he's going to do all of his alchemical stuff. Okay, so now I can go back to... Oh, the blind one. Yep. That was a good one. Whoa! Anyone else feel lazy between the 25th? Yeah, no, I had to go into work yesterday, and that was the absolute last place I want to be. Like, I felt like a hypocrite because I'm like, how can people expect me to be at work right now? How can they expect me to provide them services when at the same time, you know, I knew full well that I was going to be going to the store afterwards and fully expected them to be open. So I'm a hypocrite. See, a lot of these, they don't go together, and it bugs me. Oh, I expect services. Yeah, I know. Let me see. Let's see if I can find a way to make this make sense. Get our little tools together here. And see. I have red, blue, green. They don't have yellow. I want to make this as believable as possible, which is difficult. I expect people to be in church on Sunday morning. I expect grocery store and fast food to be open for me to pick stuff up on the way home. See, that's, yeah. I'm not a public servant, but I am in the service industry, unfortunately. I will not jump. Do a barrel roll. See, what I think I need to do is just size all of this stuff down. So then... See, I know it's borderline impossible to see what I'm doing here. The problem that I'm running into is that these are closed. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. So if we were to take this, move around like that. That kind of makes sense. But at the same time, it doesn't feed into another thing. Oh my gosh, this alchemical equipment, it's not fluid. I need a way to get it all to kind of blend together to make it look like there's a coherent experiment going on. What are you guys talking about now? Oh, good lord. You people, I swear. Talking about dang all. How is that? Like, that's a... that's not bad. That's like a little thing with a plan in it. Yeah, fine. Fine, we'll take that. Let's do, we need a decent mortar and mortar and pestle. Perhaps a brain jar. Yeah, that might be a little much. Maybe that's a little much. A bottle with a cork? Well, when you talk about me performing favors on people at a truck stop, that's not something I normally want to engage with. If you put a drink, a bottle on the table, people will want to drink it. You know what? I'll remember that, Dave. I'll remember that for Reverend Dr. Klaus. Is there a kind of roll to be drunk in a tabletop game? Normally, I would call for a Constitution roll, depending on what game it is. But yeah, Constitution is normally what I would do. See how well you handle your liquor. But honestly, I think I've been doing it all wrong. Because in my opinion, you should probably have diminishing returns. Like, the more you drink, the more of a penalty you get. So, like, the first drink, you make a regular one. Second drink, you make it at -2. Third drink, you make it at -3, 4. And then eventually, maybe you get disadvantage or something like that. Or, you know, if it's D&D, it's like higher DC. If it's Savage Pathfinder, it's at a -2. If it's like the One Ring or any of the Year Zero systems, you take off a D6. You know, that kind of thing. If it's Call of Cthulhu, it's you'd get a regular success for the first one. You'd require a hard success on the second one, extreme success on the third one, critical success on the fourth one, you know, that kind of thing. What is the threshold to determine a party member is drunk? I don't know, man. It's like, it's just like, you know, are you, normally I would ask, like, are you drinking quite a bit? And obviously that number is subjective, right? Quite a bit is subjective. But if they say, yes, I'm drinking quite a bit, it's kind of inferred that, oh yeah, they're drinking to get drunk. So, time to make some rolls, baby. Nope. Let's see. That's why you only drink on Sunday. Let's see. Am I bald under the hat? I might as well be. I've got bedhead. I don't know. Well, it's probably fixed. Yeah, I've got bedhead. See? I'm looking for something like a, probably spelled that wrong. How do you spell pedestal? Did I spell it right? P-E-D-E-S-T-A-L? Or is it P-E-D-I? P-E-D-I. Either way. There is no bald spot, you son of a bitch. How dare you, first of all? There we go. This'll work. This'll work. I like this. Okay, so we're gonna take this, we're gonna scale it up. We're gonna put it in the center of the room. That's the thing about this grid. Like, not everything's going to be perfect. But that's okay. It's more about, in my opinion, it's more about where it's placed in relation to the other objects in the room, as opposed to you know. Let's see. Let's see. As opposed to where it's placed on the grid. Oh. Dang it! Stop moving it. I'm gonna move everything up a layer so I can put like a rug. Underneath all of it. That's up. That's up. There we go. All right, now let's put a... Speaking of hats, do you like a Cat in the Hat movie? Oh, I don't know. I haven't seen that one in a long time. You're talking about the Mike Myers one, right? I do not have a toupee! You're killing me, Smalls. Actually, you know what? No, maybe there wouldn't be a carpet in this room. Maybe there would be one in here. Just a big old son of a gun. I gotta search around for all the chairs. How much did that toupee? Why do you want me to take my hat off so bad? There, are you happy? You can see how messy my hair is? Ugh, gross. I feel like there's still some set dressing we need to do here. There's not dining tables and recreation in the same room, or dining tables and beds in the same room. This is like, it's like a rec thing. You know, this is where they play cards or whatever. The dining tables slash mess hall is right here. You back? No. Can you see it? Can you see the back of my head? Yeah. I'm not a dancing monkey for you people. Trying to watch my language because this is supposed to be a family-friendly show. Kind of. And also, I'm trying to cut back on it. Like, I'm trying to, you know, you try to be better about the stuff that you say. All right, here, give me just a second. I'll be right back. Hey, JT's here. What's up, buddy? Check Discord. I love that. I'm not going for a quick ride in my pillow. You guys are mean to me. Like, really mean. Mouse is old enough to be a father, likes dudes like a mother, and is the size of a child. Something for the whole. You are very mean. Let's see. Let's see what else might be in here. Maybe they wouldn't have a well. The idea is to get this done today, so we'll probably, well, we already are going a little long. But I will, I'm gonna go until we get this done. I've done nothing. All I've done is show my face on the internet, Paul. That's all I've done. But, you know, it comes with the territory. You show your face on the internet and people will eventually come to naysay. See, I'm trying to come up with ideas for things that might still. Oh, here we go. There we go. It's the toilet room. Actually, would the toilet room be outside? Yeah, let's make the toilet room outside. We're gonna have a little outhouse out here. What up, Biggles? How's it going, dude? Need a potty for the invaders. Exactly. Everybody needs a bathroom break every once in a while. You know what? I've had the same song going for eons at this point. Let's switch it up. Here, we'll do this one. It's a shorter song, but I actually... you may or may not hear this in the first episode of Jacob's Ladder. Let's close it. Let's close it. We're going to close this. The Mets are being assholes. Let's see. You know what? I think it would make sense for the floor in here to be dirt or gravel. Oh. Let's see. Favorite band? I don't know if I have a favorite band right now. I don't know. I have a hard time. I have a hard time picking out a favorite band, really, because there's certain aspects I like about some bands that other bands don't have, but I like it just as much as those other bands. So like, favorite band is the belt that holds your pants up. Nice, dude. Like, I have certain bands for certain situations. Like, if I'm lifting, it'll be Kublai Khan, because that one, it's ignorant, and it is guerrilla music. Like, your testicles drop a couple of centimeters when you put that band on. I like Sleep Token a lot because they're very versatile. They're very versatile in what they can do with different genres and how they blend them together. I like yeah, no kidding. Favorite band used to be As I Lay Dying, yeah. And, you know, yeah. That was a whole situation that never dies. No pun intended. Yeah, so funny story about them is that, and Huck knows very well about this, is that they were crowdfunding a side project that the lead singer was doing. And one of the little tiers was you get tickets to a show, you get VIP passes to that show, and you get to go to dinner with that lead singer. And so I bought that, and it was like $250. I bought it. And so it was like a month out from the show that I was supposed to go to. It was like me, and I was going to take another buddy of mine. And like a month out, the dude gets arrested. It was like a couple months out. Dude gets arrested for putting a hit out on his wife. And for some reason, like that killed the band instantly. Like, obviously that killed the band. Like, they were no longer around. And then they came back after a while. And he was able to convince everybody to get back together. That lasted about a year, and then everybody left again. And then he brought more people on, like all new members except for one. They came back. Then everybody left again, and then he brought more people on. So I'm like, this guy refuses to give up, which I'll give him respect for. He refuses to give up. And he must be a great salesman, because people keep joining the band after so many people have quit. It's incredible how he's able to convince him to do this. His wife's still alive, or his now ex-wife is still alive. Did I put that over the top? I freaking did. Oh my God, I'm an idiot. And I've already done so much since I've done this. God, that's annoying. That's the one thing I hate about this, is that you can't isolate this and replace it. Like, I don't remember how far back, like, how far back am I? Yeah, I did all of this. Like, I would have to redo all of this to come back here. It's so stupid. That's the one of the main problems I had with this damn software is that, like, if you do something you don't realize you did it, like if you bring a mask over the top and you don't realize you did it until later, you have to undo everything you did in order to get it back to where it was. Damn, man. That sucks. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. She divorced him after that? Why? Your guess is as good as mine, man. Yeah, because if I go... Like, I just want to delete this step out of it. Is that possible? Oh, wait. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, for... Damn it. I did it anyway. Well, we're not getting this map done today. Oh, I miss you too, Biggles. You have the ability to work with layers in that software like Photoshop. It works. It's yes, but it's different. Fucking hell. Dang it, man. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to remain calm, but that really, what I just did has seriously altered my mood. Alright, let's get these windows back in place. There. I'm out of coffee. Well, I'm not out of coffee. I could go get some more if I wanted to. Let's see. Windows towards the front here. Okay. Let's see. Man. Centerpiece here. You ruined another's day. No. Not at all. Oh. Short fuse for anything, don't mess. It's like, I don't want to say that I'm short-tempered generally, or that I'm easy to get short-tempered. Maybe I am. I don't know. I get easily frustrated. It's tough to make me mad. Like, I don't get mad very often, but I do get frustrated pretty easily. But I guess the good news is that one tiny little spot that nobody would have ever noticed is fixed. That's a question left up to the gods themselves. Savage. JT Savage. Savage Talk. JT. That they do fantastic. They suck the soul right out. Good news is all of the assets that I had used previously are still here for easy access. Oh, you know what? I think I need to make this bigger again. Actually, what if I take this limbic and increase the size just a tad? But the problem is if I do that, God, it takes up the whole dadgum table. I thought I heard my dogs barking about something. What are you out there barking about? Barking at the neighbors? Making me look bad? There we go. I still don't look straight. Nice, Freddy. Did you spend 6 hours in the AT&T store like most like it always takes? Because I know it always takes like 6 or 8 hours to get a phone from AT&T, and it makes no sense as to why it should take that long. Hello, VJJ. Three days. Sounds about right. What am I looking for? There we go. That's not so bad. I don't know if it's quite as good as it was. Oh, you know what? There's one thing we're missing. Boom. Phone upgrades are max 1 hour sitting at your house. Yeah, I usually go to the store, which is probably a stupid decision, but I like the whole aspect of a brick and mortar type deal. Hourglass goes there. Let's look at something needs to go over here. What goes over there? There's no wasted space in this laboratory. Well, I don't do that kind of thing just because, like, ordering the phone, because I usually have to, you know, do the payment thing. Normally I can't afford the just a $1,200 phone. Happy New Year, Huck. See you later, brother. Here, let's put this here. Just because. All right. Oh, man. Well, I said we were going to get this done. I don't think we're going to do that today because you boys getting hungry, and I got some stuff that I need to do, so I'm going to save it here. And I'm going to get on with my day as... Oh, what have I just done? Get rid of that. Okay. So, with that, let me see. What else? What do we got going on? Obviously, Monday's Masks near Lathotep. Thursday... stay tuned for Thursday because I'm not sure what we're gonna do about that. But let's see. I'm thinking about keeping an eye on either the YouTube or the Patreon because we're gonna be making an announcement here very shortly about some new stuff we got going on. And I think that's about it. So, I'll tell you what, let me see. Let me check something real quick. See if anybody else is live here. Nope, nobody else is live. So, I'm just going to go straight to the in-stream, or the in-screen. Again, thank you all for being here, and I will catch you on the flippity-flop. Later!